Circuit, the court points out that Elvis Chan, the FBI official in the San Francisco field office of the FBI, was meeting regularly with the big tech platforms in Silicon Valley there, regularly leading up to the election and telling them things that they had to pull off the internet, that conservative voices and social media postings that they didn't want people to see. The FBI coerced, the court said, and then coordinated with the big tech giants to make sure that on Facebook and Google and Twitter at the time and all these other platforms that you couldn't see that information. And it wasn't just the Hunter Biden laptop story. It was a lot of categories of things. It included negative information about the economy. It included people's opinions, conservatives' opinions about the efficacy of COVID vaccines and the lockdowns and how crazy that was and what they were doing to school children. All that stuff was censored. They even took down jokes about the president. If you posted parody about President Biden, or even as a candidate or when he was elected, it was pulled off the internet. It's unbelievable. It's staggering. The judge says in the judge's words in the court that this is arguably the largest and the greatest attack on free speech in U.S. history. He called it Orwellian. He said it was dystopian. This is what we're facing. This is what this White House has been involved in. They did not want the American people to have the facts. And that's one of the reasons that we have to go to this next step. That's why, Mr. Speaker, we have to follow these facts where they lead. The facts are irrefutable. They have understandably set Washington ablaze, even though the American people weren't able to see it. The judge said millions of free speech protected postings were taken down from the internet, not seen. But it has set Washington ablaze. Why? Because we're bringing these facts to bear. We're laying them out for people to see. Our colleagues here, some of them don't want to see it. But as John Adams said, facts are stubborn things. And as expected, the D.C. and the National Press Corps have blindly accepted the White House's spin. And they're trying to convince the American people that our inquiry, even the impeachment inquiry, is illegitimate. Just 3 years after they carried the water for Adam Schiff and the Democrats on their crazy impeachment quest against Donald Trump. Here's a sampling of the headlines so far. Now remember, we just announced the impeachment inquiry step yesterday. Here it is so far from Time Magazine. Biden inquiry may be weakest in history. Oh, yeah. From CNN, the most predictable impeachment investigation in American history. From Reuters, McCarthy opens long-shot impeachment probe of Biden. From MSNBC, McCarthy's Biden impeachment inquiry is the Benghazi investigation on steroids. These headlines are going to increase. We know what's coming. We know that they're working against us, against the American people in this case, and for the White House. They're on their team. We get it. CNN is reporting this week that the White House is urging news executives to ramp up scrutiny of our investigation. In fact, now there's a memo going around they sent to all the big news agencies. As if weaponizing the federal agencies wasn't enough, President Biden is now publicly directing the free press to play defense for him. And you know what? They're willingly going along with it. Mr. Speaker, why? I'm just going to ask this question. It's a rhetorical one. Nobody can answer it here, of course, but we're trying to seek the answers to this. I think we know. Why? If there was no impropriety, why wouldn't the president provide congressional investigators with all the information we've requested? What do they have to hide? The president could make the short trip from 1600 Pennsylvania tomorrow. He could sit down with our committees. He could clear his name. We could do that behind closed doors. We could do it very discreetly with all the protection he needs. In fact, we'd welcome it. I mean, let this be an open invitation to President Biden. I know the White House is recording all this. They're watching what we do here. Here's the open invitation. President Biden, Secretary Blinken, any of the Biden family members and associates, or anyone who seeks to clear their name. Anybody involved in this investigation at all, you can come right here. You are welcome here in Congress to our committees. We on the House Judiciary Committee, House Oversight Committee, Weaponization Committee, the Ways and Means Committee, any of them. Pick your committee, and we'll bring you in, and you can clear your name. Mr. Speaker, we would love to return our full focus to our regular and important work here. But the facts and our sworn oath to defend the Constitution require this inquiry. And I'll close this with this, and I'm going to bring up a couple of my colleagues who will share their thoughts as well. But remember that Article 1, Section 2 of the Constitution itself expressly states that the sole power of impeachment belongs here to this House. And then Article 2, Section 4 says, listen to the language carefully. It's expressly written in the Constitution. This is not political talking points. We're not making this up. It says in Article 2, Section 4 that the president shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. My friends, I just listed just a small sampling, just the tip of the iceberg of the credible allegations and the mounting evidence that shows that Joseph Biden has engaged in bribery schemes, pay-to-play schemes. This is what the evidence shows. We have to follow it. We took an oath to uphold the Constitution. The Constitution requires this action. The inquiry is the appropriate step. We have no choice to pursue the facts wherever they lead, and we will leave no stone unturned. Mr. Speaker, barring declarations of war, impeachment is the most awesome power that Congress